computer? Does it tell you we're recording?
I've got a little red button. Let me see what it says.
I think that's
It says record. It says record.
Okay, well let's start this this first. This is the PAMdemic series you and I have started together on YouTube, as you would say, right?
YouTube.
YouTube.
Get your tube right.
YouTube.
YouTube.
Yes. Have you ever watched YouTube on the tube?
I watch it on the tube.
Interesting.
That's what I do. I do get it on my iPad too, but I mainly watch on the tube because I can get it on a big screen, which is lovely. Yes, I can see you.
And what if I were to tell you that I could get images from your iPad onto your TV? Would you think of me a wizard?
I would.
Yes. And you'd be right.
I actually remember when I was in Pasadena, and I think Oren came over, and Oren was fixing something on the television or something for me. And I remember he said, I can put your iPad on the TV. And I think I was going cross-eyed and
out, witch, leave, yeah. Witch.
And you were saying to Oren, don't do that. She'll never grasp it, never grasp it.
Well, yes, I'm like your technology bouncer, where I only let in the appropriate things of technology that I think you're going to be able to manage without having too much stress in your life. So there are times where I'll say, I think this is potentially a technological bridge too far for you. And that's what I did.
And I think you were right, but I think now I could probably handle it.
I think you probably could. Yeah, you've come a long way. This was a while ago.
Well, Nick was
oh, go ahead.
Nick was ever so impressed yesterday because I was able to talk to him on FaceTime. And then I went to my email to read an email to him. And then I went back to him and got the picture back. And I don't think he could believe it.
Well, there's a new update where you can actually have the FaceTime while you're doing other things, which is kind of bullshit in a way. Because the truth is, like, the phone, the thing that I think is great about FaceTime, that you and I love about FaceTime, is we can keep it, we talk every day. And so we can talk, and it really is pretty much a fixed conversation because you're on your phone, so you can't be on your phone. But now they've afforded you the luxury of being able to check your email, you know, do other tinkering bullshit on your phone. And
well, I think it's lovely because yesterday, and I've done it with you, I was able to talk to Biddy for about 50 minutes.
I love how you use specific names, like anyone watching this would be like, oh, good, she caught up with Biddy.
Oh, well, anyway, Biddy. And anyway, and I was on the treadmill and I had my FaceTime propped up. It was lovely. And I've done it with you.
Yeah, no, I know. I've talked to you on the treadmill before. We call the treadmill tready. I think we might have established that last time, but just for clarity.
Does it look wobbly when I do it?
You mean, is it tough to keep the picture straight while you're walking on the surface that you're hoping to balance the iPad upon?
Yes.
It comes across a bit wobbly.
Does it come across a bit wobbly? Do you mind?
A bit wobbly. I don't mind. I'm willing to.
Okay,
I'm willing. Good. I know that the enjoyment you're getting out of tready iPad time is bigger than my gripe of slight earthquake vision.
That's right. Yes.
Well, that's the sort of kid you raised. You just raised a child who's very giving like that.
Yes.
So while it's a testament to me, also a testament to you.
You are. You're just the sun that keeps giving.
I am like, it's like if the sun never set.
You're the giving tree, son.
I am. And the giving tree, I believe dies eventually from too much taking. I'm not sure. I think it's something like that. But we're doing this. So we're doing this the day after the election, Wednesday, November 4th.
Yes.
When we've ridden the ride of thinking that the media not really doing a good job of contextualizing the fact that there's a lot of mail-in votes to count. So Trump looked like Trump was winning. Now it looks like Biden's winning. So you and I are somehow fighting through that political jungle to still do our Zoom call.
Well, I do think so, and I think it's quite silly, really, the way Trump is trying to stop. And I think that's something people in this country don't understand, why he can stop or how he can stop the rest of the votes being counted. And
he probably can't now. It looks now, I mean, there's going to be fighting for sure. But the goal was to get it so that you couldn't count them last night or they wouldn't be counted today. And it looks like enough are being. A lot, again, there's a lot of hoops and bullshit, which is my new album, by the way, Hoops and Bullshit. But
I like it.
thank you. But I would say now the fact, you just have a great advantage if you win that first one. It's a lot like the challenge rule in the NFL, which I know you're familiar with.
I'm very familiar with that. But what I don't understand is, he says he's going to take it to the Supreme Court.
Love the pronunciation. YouTube, Supreme, just dynamite.
In fact, if you're going to be really posh in this country, you would say Supreme.
Supreme. I was on the tube watching YouTube about the Supreme Court.
Anyway, but why can he do that?
Why can he take it to the Supreme Court?
Yes. I mean, well, I know now it's all weighted in Republican favor, isn't it?
Yes. There's I think 5 Catholic, what I would call extreme right-wing justices, and white-wing. They're all white. Well, essentially the Supreme Court is the highest court in the land. So you have your state court, you have your federal court, and then you have your Supreme Court. So the state court would be like Wisconsin. So he can challenge the vote in Wisconsin. I mean, I don't know the specifics of how this would play out. I'm not a lawyer, obviously, but he would challenge it in Wisconsin. If he loses it or wins it, the Biden will challenge that ruling, or Trump will challenge that ruling. That would go to the federal court. Depending on that ruling, one of them would challenge that, and then that would be a case that would be potentially heard by the Supreme Court. So I'm not sure how it would work out, because he's not going to have, he's going to have a legitimate case to some extent to get it to the Supreme Court, I would think. But
because he's already said that he's going to challenge Wisconsin. I think he wants that recounted.
Yes, he said that.
But what's so silly, and what people tend to not, and I haven't really spoken to many people except my family.
Sure.
But what doesn't make any sense is that if the rest of the votes he allows to be counted, he's going to benefit too, as well as the Democrats. It's so silly, but he's just got it in his mind that
the mail-in ballots are predominantly going to be Democratic votes. So he knows that and knew that, and so because they're lazy. Fuck no. No, it's because of the pandemic and
the pandemic. Yeah.
You definitely have a higher chance of your vote getting thrown out if you mail it in. There's a number of things they can do. I mean, there's a number of things they can do if you show up to vote too. But if you're in the voting booth voting, for the most part, your vote will be counted. Again, that's what's so funny in this country about how people are obsessed with other countries influencing our elections. Our elections make no sense. They're terrible. We don't need other countries' interference to local elections. But anyway, does that answer your question? To me, I feel like, go ahead.
Well, I think it does answer the questions, and I think they're questions that I think people ask me, because they know that I lived a long time in America and they know that you live there.
And then when you have no information to give them, are they disappointed by the fact that you did not retain enough about the judicial system of the states?
No, not really, because I think they take one look at me and know me and think, well,
would you ever in that situation kind of make up a little bit of an answer that's sort of vague enough to get by?
It would depend who it is, and if it would depend who it is. Yes, but I would.
Could we? I
would pretend I know.
Could we kind of role play that for a second, where I'll be this person who knows nothing, and so that's a strength for you, and just answer my question.
I've got about that much knowledge.
Yeah, but I would love to just hear how you can spread that out into like a correct that little.
Go on, right. Okay.
Right. Now, Pam, you lived in America for a while. I was curious. Now, if Donald Trump were to lose, how would he be able to win?
Well, he'd have to cheat. He'd cheat.
Right. But how would he cheat? He would...
I think he'd question all the votes and get them added up again. And yes. Yeah.
You're running on fumes.
You've got the gist of it. It's not very good.
It's a good thing we did this run through, I think, for sure. We got
Just
the
to
iron
get
kinks
it
out.
out.
Yeah, this is the dress rehearsal. It's showtime next time. That's why you're lucky again. Okay, well, anything else? Is there anything else that's been going on in the world over there? How's your garden? Good?
Yeah, the garden's good. I went and bought a few more plants yesterday. We've had so much rain.
Now the UK is going to go on lockdown.
Yes,
So,
from midnight.
Yes. So what is that? What will that, how will that impact your life?
It won't really, because I mean, I'm not somebody that goes and hangs out in pubs or restaurants or anything.
We heard you were in a pub recently.
Well, I was, yes, a couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks ago with my sister-in-law and my sister. Yeah, but we won't be doing that. We had an arrangement to get together for next week, but the pub will be closed. It's a new pub in Williston, actually. It's really nice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, can't remember what it's called.
Not a Witherspoons.
No, not Weatherspoons. No.
Weatherspoons.
Not very keen on Weatherspoons.
No, I despise Weatherspoons. Okay, so all right, well, yeah, so that's good. Okay, well, why don't we? Do you have some pictures today? I have some too. I brought a few pictures.
I got a few, yes, and I didn't know quite what you wanted, so I've got.
Well, Mum, what I want is for you to not know, and then that's the right answer.
Okay, all right then. I've got one or two that I've selected. I've got a few of you.
What is your selection process of the pictures?
Well, I try to think of. I always think that all your fans will like to see you when you're young, so I have
also like to see you, which we'd established.
Yes, yeah.
I think the more that it's me and you, it's probably good. But I think there's also opportunity for others.
Okay, right. Well, I've got one of you.
Okay, go ahead.
Can you see?
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty good. I mean,
isn't that perfect?
Oh, good Lord. I mean, you look anesthetized, and I look like I'm on Molly.
What I think is funny on this photo is that flower is a buttonhole for you, and it looks like it's in my hair.
Oh, it does. It's one of we could. Who knows? Where does your head end and my chest begin? Now, that's at my school. Where was that? What was that for? Do you remember?
I don't know. Was it like? Do you think it was a parent evening? And
it might have been graduation.
Do you think it?
Or it probably was right around graduation of some sort.
I don't think it was graduate. Well, it might have been graduation.
Probably, because I remember my hair being that weird color.
Yeah. Do you remember wearing? And you wore a tail, didn't you?
Well, funny you bring that up, Mom. I've got that picture today. I wore a tail to my graduation.
Yes.
I hid a monkey tail up my coat so that when I was getting my diploma, I dropped a monkey tail, which you can see right there. Sort of looks like a rocket poop, but yeah.
I think it was really funny because it wasn't the headmaster or somebody saying.
You can put that picture down now, Mum. We'd love to see your face. Yeah.
That they were really proud of the fact that you hadn't had a prank for graduation, and then all of a sudden the audience, they were all like, and then they just went into roars of laughter because of the tail. It sort of rippled through the crowd.
The tail. Well, yes. I remember shaking his hand, and he was very puzzled as to why, how, if I'm shaking his hand, what could I have done? And
yes,
and the monkey tail seems so rebellious at the time, but it's actually so innocuous. Really, it's such a dumb little thing. But yeah, now. What was it like? Because I got in a good amount of trouble at that school. What was that like as a parent when you were sort of like, I mean, you must have been kind of worried about me in ways.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yes, I was. Yeah. I was really, really bothered. You know, it was very, very difficult. You know, but somehow we muddled through.
Well, you and I sort of became partners
in naughtiness.
Well, not even I mean, we certainly just were like, fuck the rules and stuff. But we certainly were aligned more than I think most mothers and sons. We were like, the parent-child line kind of blurred, and we were almost like pals, really.
Yes.
And I was definitely going through some stuff and being bad, but I think we were. And I was trying to be
a good single parent.
Yeah.
But I find a lot of things that you did quite funny. I can remember one day that I went, oh, you told me that the car had broken down coming out of school and it was blocking the road. And as I came up the road, you were in a Stetson and cowboy boots with your car blocking the middle of the road, and you were directing the traffic.
Yeah, it's
you
very
were directing
funny.
all these parents who were questioning you and I, and they were directing them, you know. It's hilarious.
Yeah, I often look back and I do feel like a completely different. I'm just like, what was going? I was just crazy. And I was crazy for a long time. Like from when I was probably like 15 to probably when I was like 28 or something. I was just nuts and would just do stuff like that. I would wear crazy outfits. We sort of alluded to some of this last time, but it's very strange. I'm like, I wish I could watch it. I wish I could observe it instead of just be like, what the hell was going on with me?
There are a lot of funny tales, aren't there? So.
Especially the monkey tail.
Especially the monkey.
All right, what else have you got? I've got a couple good ones here.
Well, this is...
you didn't fully walk us through your selection process.
Well, I don't know. I just go through and I look and I think...
You've got a big suitcase of them.
Huge.
You've got a huge suitcase.
I think we talked about this last week. The suitcase has been in our family for years, and the pictures go back to almost to my father being a baby. They're black and white ones, and Dad was born in 1917. So probably the photos go back to about 1920.
Crazy.
And you know, and they just go...
we just have a lot.
I suppose they must have been quite lucky to be able to have photographs, really, because I think it was probably a bit of a luxury in those days. But,
oh yeah, I'm sure.
But anyway, no. But you've seen them. But
the difference between photos now and photos then, I find it very crazy because even when I was a kid, you'd get these like Kodak roll things, and you could take a ton of pictures, but you would have to wait to have them developed, and there was something kind of special about getting photos developed. You'd get your photos and you'd go through them, and and now it's like you can take just pictures whenever you want of whatever you want. What do you think of that transition? Does that strange?
I mean, I think it's very nice, but I think there was the anticipation of the photos, and particularly if you'd left your film for a while and you know have it developed, and it would be 2 or 3 years later. It was quite funny. But I think the thing for me that my generation miss is the fact that you can't hold them and look at a photo. It's all on a screen.
That's what I mean.
That's a bit
special. They're special. They're just they're useless now. It's just I could take 40 pictures of my feet right now if I wanted. And just whatever.
Exactly. And also you could do this, what we're doing, showing photos, but it wouldn't be as much fun, you know, because you go through and you select and, you know.
Yeah, there's nothing special. And you go, oh, you know, you remember that there's certain photos we remember, like the coal eating photo, which we cannot find anywhere.
Well, and there's a story. I think you can tell a story. Yeah. I
agree. They say a picture is worth 1,000 words. They used to. Now, you know what they say? A picture's worth a word. Like you and I.
Is that's not Cedarburg Road, is it?
I think that's in Brown Deer Park.
And that's in Brown Deer Park. Yes, yeah.
So I think that's in Brown Deer Park, right near the little pond.
That's lovely.
You can see us.
Yes, yeah. Oh, well, I've got one of its that would probably, at least the hair's the same.
Okay.
Look, there's that big hair of mine.
Jesus Christ. My God, Mom.
Isn't it funny?
That is ludicrous.
I know.
I mean, that is crazy. That's knocking on the afro door a little bit. That is was that a perm?
No, that would be how my hair is.
That's put the picture on. That would be your natural. It's okay because we'll hopefully put them up, so you don't need to hold it too much longer. Okay. I can't even see it. No. But that is a wild natural state for your hair to be.
I know. It's God.
Is that how the meteorologists predicted if there was a storm coming? They were like, she's poofed out. We're gonna get one of those nor'easters.
It's full of static.
Okay. Oh wait,
Okay.
here. This one I wanted to show because this is again just I'm always how much of my childhood was spent sitting in a dishwasher's tub in the yard,
In a washing up bowl.
surrounded by other buckets.
Yes, I don't know. I really don't. I think you liked being in the washing up bowl.
I mean, I must have, but at some point you guys have to step in and say, this is not okay. This kid's going
And
to
it looks
get,
like
I'm going to get bucket legs.
Looks like you're a bit too big for it as well, doesn't it?
There's no need to bring weight into this. That's not something.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying that you'd grown and you were in the bowl.
Mom,
Now,
do you need the spade next to me to keep digging?
Look, now I wanted to show you that because that's a Wisconsin winter.
Oh, I've read about those. Now okay, this is an interesting subject. So you were living in England, you met my father, and
Yes.
you guys came to the States, and you essentially thought you were going to be moving to Beverly Hills in your head because you knew nothing.
I did. Yes.
So you thought like Southern California probably, and then you ended up palm trees or palm trees. And then you went to Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
No, we went.
Or you went to Cleveland. But okay, so what was that? What was it like to sort of have to acclimate to that?
Oh, it was such a shock because we got there at the beginning of January. We left England on, I think, the 2nd of January, and we arrived in Cleveland. And I just remember looking at the cars, and there was snow, and the cars were rusty. And, it was just like, oh my word, I couldn't believe where we'd come to. I thought, what's all this about?
And you had serious culture shock.
Oh, unbelievable.
I love what's going on with your iPad. It keeps sort of try to keep it.
Oh, it's because it's on the movable chair.
Yeah, we'll just keep it, just stop moving the chair so much.
Yes, I won't put my hand in it anymore.
Great, perfect. We'll just, yeah. Sorry. Okay, so, and it was culture shock, we were saying.
Oh, it was absolutely just unbelievable. Yes. I mean, it was just such a shock to me to think that this was what America was. And then we stayed in a hotel for a while. And then we eventually moved to somewhere called Brunswick.
Uh-huh.
And we rented a condominium. And I just couldn't adjust. I really, really disliked it. I just couldn't adjust.
And then the solution was, well, if you're not a fan of the winters, we'll go where they're worse.
Yeah. Exactly. Yes. And then we were told that we were moving. Peter just said we were going to move to Milwaukee, and everybody kept saying to me, because the friends I'd made in Cleveland kept saying, you're going somewhere worse, colder. And I said, oh no, it can't be colder. Couldn't possibly be colder.
Shit.
We packed everything in a U-Haul truck.
That's a good transition into this. When I grew up loving the hockey game. The sport of hockey.
Yes.
And this is where I had my front teeth out. So I looked like an actual hockey player.
You look like a hockey player, yes.
And then I was very much like a Wisconsin kid. Like I had a mullet, I had Z's in the side of my head, I shaved my eyebrow a little bit. I wore a San Jose Sharks jacket. What were you thinking? Were you like, I'm losing this kid. He's becoming...
No, I never thought that. I don't think. No, I think I did. I remember with Nick when we first came here, I remember listening to these children playing outside, and they were all speaking, American to me, which was a bit of a foreign language because we didn't get much American telly. Yeah. And I remember looking out, and Nick was one of them. And I remember calling him in and saying, "You won't speak like that.
You stop that. You're English.
Don't speak like that.
You speak the Queen's English, not the President."
That's not the way you speak. You speak, you speak like we do.
We talk about the growing pains that your son, my brother, had to go through, and it is just crazy. We'll have him on one of these, and he can talk about it a little bit. Let's have another picture then.
Okay. What about this one? I thought that was rather nice of the two dogs at one point and the cat.
It's great.
And the nice house.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if furniture and our dead pets is what the fuel that's going to gas this car.
Is appropriate. What about that one of Milwaukee?
That's a nice one of Milwaukee. Now, who are those dogs?
They were our dogs. Those were Winston and Bailey.
Thank you. Oh, that's Winston and Bailey. Oh, those are our last.
Yeah, and that was on Lake Drive.
Right.
Do you remember that?
I
And then
remember
that's
like that.
me with my sister and
Whoa, that's
brother.
extremely close. Okay,
Can you
that's
see?
nice. Yeah. That's your sister and her husband,
Yeah,
Dave and Angie.
yeah.
Okay,
And
well
then
oh, go on.
are you sure?
I've got one,
I
yeah.
got one of when we went to that posh hotel in Milwaukee
Oh,
with Jessica.
the Fister.
That's
Which,
right.
Mom, this is probably a bit ribald for you and I to discuss, but the older I get, the more that name really seems strange.
Yeah, and it was PF, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was PF after Paul Pfister, I think. I
Was
believe
it?
it came up on a Dollop episode, but the name Pfister,
Yes.
very strange.
Do you
Yes,
think it's German?
I think it's graphic, but we'll keep going. This is one.
Yeah. Oh,
This is you and I in a pool
oh,
somewhere.
oh.
That's when you guys finally got me out of the dish rag bin.
You got into real water.
I couldn't believe this. I said, "Oh my God, this is a big bucket." Who's your bucket man then? Who does your bucket? He's done a fabulous. My bucket's about this big. I'm a bit of a lobster squished into my bucket. Your bucket's big.
That was a friend in Cedarburg. She was nice. She was very nice.
Nice, yes.
Yeah.
Very nice.
And you want to see one of me as a little girl?
Yes.
Well, here's one when I was quite young.
These are the best. And is this a double-sided one?
No, Nick's got the other.
This is no. Oh, that's a great one. I love that one. And this one is crazy too. That one doesn't look like you.
No, that was because I had
sort of does, but so you have a very short haircut there.
Yeah, because Mum took me to a barber's to have my haircut.
You can put it down.
And it was cut really short, and I hated it, and I was so upset. I cried. And my dad came in from work, and we were sitting at the table, and he looked at me and he went, "Oh, hello, Peter Pan. You and I'll only use a sachet of shampoo between us."
And what did that do to a crying child who hated their haircut?
Oh, I think I just sobbed
Peter
more
Pan.
and more. I know, it was really, really.
Do you think the disparity between how people raise their children now and then? I mean, obviously it's so different. What system do you think is better? Back then it was more stern, and I think you felt very much you had to keep that line between parent and child. And now it's almost over coddled and they can do no wrong. What do you think?
Yeah, I think people tend to treat their children more as friends now.
But I think it's even beyond friends. I think they celebrate nothingness, so everything feels like an achievement. And then when you have achievements, you almost yes, exactly. They've been sort of ruined.
Yes, yeah. I think the one thing I find really hard, and it's the same in England, that I think when we were younger, if you got a medal or a cup for something, you'd really worked hard, and other people, and you learn to fail, and you don't think about it. And I think one of the problems nowadays is children aren't allowed to fail; they've got to feel equal.
I think that's very true. Failure builds a lot of character and strength. It might be difficult in the moment.
You've got to learn to fail.
Do you agree with that, Peter Pan? Peter Pam. That's what we should call you, Peter Pam.
Shut up, Jeff.
All right, here's one of you I found. This is just gosh. Now, I'm not going to lie. There are times when I'll do certain things and the comments about how attractive you are will come flying. So I thought, look at this. Now, where is this? Do you know where that is?
Yes, I think that was Hillary and I went to Spain, and
oh wow,
we'd go walking along the front in the morning, and we'd stop and have a brandy and hot chocolate. I think they were called Lumumbas or something.
Lumumba.
We'd start on the brandy.
Your hair has a bit of a Joe Exotic vibe in a way.
Yes, it does.
I mean, it's like you got your Peter Pan on top and then your Joe Exotic in the back a little bit.
It's a bit like a mullet.
It's a mullet. I didn't want to say it because I know that term sends shivers down your spine. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's have another one then. We'll do a couple more. I've got one more.
Okay, this is me and my sister when we were young.
Oh, my Lord.
Do you know what I'm realizing when when I'm turning all these over, look, they've all got scribbles on the back. Look.
Why? What the fuck?
I
Why?
don't know.
What
don't know.
happened?
I've never noticed that before.
What is going on? But wait, do they all have that?
A lot of the ones of little, yes. Some of these,
Now,
those.
wait, can we talk about the one that you just showed real quick?
Yes,
because it looks like you're surrounded by trash. Are you guys just surrounded? Did the parade break out earlier that day and you were just sitting in it?
No, we're actually on the beach because that's Buckets in Spain.
Oh, that's where I get it.
But I'll tell you what I do notice. Look at that paedophile in the background.
Mum, you don't know he's a paedophile.
Look at him looking at Angie and I with his hat on.
What's he supposed to do? Someone had a camera. It was a big deal back then. It wasn't like now. A pedophile in the back. You're lucky that person's probably no longer with us.
Yes.
That would be...
he looks pretty old there.
All right, here's my last one. You were going to show this one last week, but I found it and I decided to show it. Now, maybe at some point you can get the article that accompanies this.
Yes, I do have it. I'll have it. I'll
bring it out for the next one. We can give more context to it. But I think of this one all the time because we ended up in the paper because of this picture ended up in the paper in Stourbridge because you had decided to have me come to England to be christened into the Church of England.
That's right. That's right. Yes. And my dad went to the local paper. They picked it up and another local paper picked it up and they came and took another photograph of us. And so we became...
do you pine for the days when news was that a baby was getting christened from America? As opposed to now when it's just constant hold on for your dear life every day?
I don't think I pine for it. I just think how different things were. That, something like that would make the papers.
Yeah, but not only make the paper, to make the papers.
Yeah, exactly. But I think the local papers here are still a bit like that. Maybe I'll try to pull an article or show you a local paper. But
maybe we should. This is what we should try to do. Let's try to have me come over there for a dechristening and see if that makes the papers. I'll announce that I'm leaving the Church of England. I'm stepping away. All right. Well,
you're resigned.
I'm resigning.
Resigning religion.
Yes, I'm in the Church of America now.
Had enough.
I'm done. My work here is done, everyone.
Yes, I'm
going back to America to fix them now that this is fixed.
Yes, to the Church of America, not the Church of England any longer.
Do you have one more?
I can certainly pick another one. Yes,
let's pick one more.
Okay, that's me and my mum.
Oh,
can
that's
you see
nice. Yeah, lower it a bit. You've got her in a headlock. Yeah.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's nice. It's a dark. I think you're wearing a Packers shirt.
Yes, I am. That's why I picked it for you.
Thank you.
And I think
you can drop it, Mum.
Okay, and I think that was Oconomowoc. Yeah, it was there. That was there. Yeah. Oh, I just have to show you this one.
Okay. Oh my God. At that point, I think I was, in my head, I was normal, but here I am dressing like Dick Tracy. I like how Nigel's just plowing food.
Yes.
All right, you can put that down. That is crazy. What a fucking weirdo.
Yeah. Isn't it funny?
What is wrong with you?
I think but isn't it lovely to have all these?
It is lovely to have them. It's just, it's also fun to lament your fashion choices for no reason.
And I think that's what's so nice about Sunday with Nick. We show the photos and there's a story, isn't there?
There's always a story. A picture's worth a word, some people say.
Yes. Yeah. Well, we just said that, didn't we? I think I've repeated it.
That's where I've picked it up from. Yes. No, I agree. I think that is it. I think it also it spurs this, some sort of some part of your brain is suddenly reactivated. I mean, there's this very interesting documentary where they basically it sounds a little bit like that film Awakenings with Robert De Niro and Robin Williams, but essentially what they do is people who are just far gone, like when you think of when Nan was in the home, like those people who just were no longer capable of catatonic, basically. and you would play music from their time that they were familiar with, they light up, they totally activate. And it's because a part of their brain that's been kind of laid to rest and is dormant is reactivated suddenly by hearing this. So I think visuals like this and music and just stuff like that really does kind of kick your brain up, and it gets things kind of firing again, you know?
Don't you find that, I mean, you're probably getting to the age now where a piece of music you will remind you of something and you know where you were when you heard that music?
No, I'm 27, but it sounds like it's fun for you. All right. Well, this has been lovely, Mummy, as usual.
Yes. Yes.
Do you have any stand-up dates you'd like to promote or anything? Are you hitting any clubs coming up or DJing?
No, because I'm in lockdown. If you remember, you've certainly warned me that I mustn't go out into comedy clubs.
Or anywhere.
Do you have any stand-up things that you want to announce?
Not that I want to announce. I might have one date that I'm doing in a couple of months, but I've got to wait and see how it goes here first. But I don't know. There is something very, it's just difficult to take a full year off of stand-up, which is essentially what I've done. And I did the one show that you saw, the live stream show I did, and I want to be able to go work that material, and you just can't. So I'm just sitting on my hour right now that needs work, and just I'm kind of like, you know, waiting to go do it. But no, nothing. I go nowhere. I don't.
But you could put together another one.
I could, but what the hell material am I going to do?
Oh, you've got material from your past. Just look at these photos.
Well, we're giving this one away. All right, Mom. Love you. Right. Say goodbye to everybody.
I love you too. Yeah, bye-bye, everybody.
And at the end, to be clear, you said I love YouTube, right?
No, I didn't.
That's what we all heard.
Okay.